All new at 10 tonight, we're finding out a Lee County Sheriff's detective with a history of being involved in controversy is being punished for what he did earlier this summer after a woman he unlawfully arrested complained about him to the sheriff's office. I have been reading through this internal affairs report of his actions to give you the cliff notes and the background on what's put him in the news before. The internal affairs report says it all started at this Lee County storage business on a night in May when Detective Tim Galloway drove here looking for a burglary suspect who was never found there. When the on-site manager asked the detective for a warrant, he drove right past her further into the property, refusing to leave even as the manager insisted. The internal affairs report concludes Galloway, quote, agrees he should have left the property, but instead, according to the victim's statement, grabbed her, extracted her from the golf cart she was in, placed her on the ground, and arrested her. The internal affairs report concludes the detective, quote, had no legal standing to remain on the property, making the arrest unlawful. It's not the first time Detective Galloway's approach has rubbed someone the wrong way. As we reported 2 years ago, he shot and killed this yellow lab after he claimed it became vicious and charged him. The dog owner claims the detective didn't exactly show a lot of compassion when she questioned him.
Why'd you shoot my dog? That kind of thing, you know, crying. He goes, I don't have to deal with you, ma'am, and he walked away from me.
A previous Fox 4 search of Galloway's personnel file showed in December of 2000 he was disciplined after crashing a patrol car. 2 years later, another crash, running into a pole in a carport. In 2009, Detective Galloway was involved in 2 deadly incidents, shooting and killing armed suspect Arthur Coleman, who tried to run over Detective Galloway. Later that year, Detective Galloway struck and killed a driver, Mateo Matias, who was making a U-turn as Galloway was responding to a burglary in an unmarked patrol car. Detective Galloway was cleared of any wrongdoing in both those incidents. But records show 2 years later, Galloway became, quote, very belligerent to a suspect in another case, yelled profanity at a woman, and was disrespectful to his own sergeant. The sheriff has previously told Fox 4 Detective Galloway has a stressful job tracking down dangerous people.
He's doing a task that nobody else wants to do. He is in an extremely, extremely dangerous position. Fugitive warrants. I can't think of anything in law enforcement that's more dangerous.
As for this latest incident at the storage unit, the sheriff gave the detective a 1-day suspension as punishment and a written reprimand to his supervisor, Sergeant Stephanie Eller, for allowing the detective to make an unlawful arrest, failing to recognize he had no standing to be on that property after being told to leave, and for leaving out key facts from the booking sheet. Now we want your view on this. Do you agree with the punishment here, a 1-day suspension for the detective and a written reprimand for his supervisor? Tell us why or why not when you call us at 239-206. Fox 4.